that you know, I can redeem myself and show to everybody and to the boxing world that, you know, that I am indeed going to be in contention for the heavyweight title.
Well, to me, I take every fight as it's the most important fight. So to me, I'm going in the fight thinking that Tyrell Biggs is the heavyweight champion of the world.
There's Riddick Bowe in the ring. He grew up in one of America's toughest neighborhoods, the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. That undefeated record. His apartment house was actually a crack house, and they had to dodge that coming and going. He's since taken his wife, children, and mother to Fort Washington, Maryland. And Tyrell Biggs, certainly he has had a successful boxing career, the gold medal in '84. But he has also had a very well-documented battle with drugs and alcohol. To put it simply, he was a crack addict. And Tyrell Biggs will be the first to tell you the greatest thing about his life is that he's been clean and sober for 6 years. Okay, here in the center of the ring, let's take a look at the numbers. And you see the 7 years in age difference, but other than that, only a quarter inch and a half a pound separate these two fighters. The rules will be the New Jersey State Athletic rules, a 10-point must system, the 3 knockdown rule, and the standing 8 are both in effect. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and both the referee and the doctor may stop the bout. Our referee is Frank Cappuccino there in the middle of the screen, and he gets this fight underway. Riddick Bowe wearing the all-white trunks, Tyrell Biggs in the black, and Tyrell Biggs takes a right hand right on the forehead, Alex.
He definitely wobbled, Dan, and he does not want to get into a trading contest with Riddick.
And Riddick Bowe, wasting no time, sensing his man's in trouble, smothers him.
Eddie Fudge told us yesterday he has never, oh, good left hook in retaliation by Tyrell. Eddie Fudge, Bowe's trainer, said he has never had a man hurt and failed to finish him. He said he finishes very well.
Well, all of a sudden, you can see Bowe no longer moving forward.
No, that's right.
That left hand stopped him short.
Right dead in his tracks.
See some blood coming from the nose of Tyrell Biggs.
That is a chronic nosebleed he's had in many of his fights. But what the Bowe assault did do, Dan, was it got Tyrell out of his game plan. He is now standing flat-footed and getting into a little bit of a trading contest, and that is not to his advantage.
You saw the jab of Biggs score several times. It's a weapon he's going to need if he has a chance to win this fight. Well, this was the kind of action we were hoping to see in this fight, and it did not waste long. Riddick Bowe landed a right hand in the first 10 seconds of the fight. Our 3 judges today who would score this fight if they go the distance: Phil Newman, Lynn Carter, and Al DeVito. They'll come into play if it goes the full 10 rounds.
Started out like you just needed one official to count to 10, Dan,
yeah.
But
the wild right from Bowe misses.
Even though Tyrell has bled to the nose on at least 5 of his fights, he does seem to be bothered by a little bit. He has been pawing at it.
Inside a minute here in round number 1. At times in his career, Big has had a very sharp jab. You see how effectively there he's using the left, keeping Riddick Bowe away from him.
Tyrell Biggs should be just shooting the jab like he did right there, Dan. He's flicking it right there. It can be a very sharp punch. He's a converted southpaw, and you would expect that a guy who's been turned around would have power in his left.
A good right hand to the body by Biggs.
Oh, there's the heavy jab.
Good solid jab to the forehead.
And an uppercut on the inside by Tyrell. He has fought back very well in this round 1.
We're coming to the end of round number 1 here in Atlantic City. Stay with us. In the second round. Around the first round where Riddick Bowe got in a telling shot early. It looked like Tyrell Biggs was in big trouble, and then he stopped Bowe in his tracks with a left hand, and from then on it was a pretty even round.
Tyrell fought back very, very well.
There's a good solid jab, that time by Bowe.
Eddie Fudge coach told Riddick in his corner, he'll be looking for that right hand now, Riddick. Use your left.
Again, a reminder, Tyrell Biggs in the black trunks, Riddick Bowe in the white.
And another outstanding jab by Tyrell Biggs. The thing you worry about the jab, as good as it is he brings it back so low after he uses it. And when you're in with a man who punches as well with the right as Riddick Bowe does, that could be a terrible, terrible flaw.
There is Riddick's wife, Judy. She's at ringside and not displaying a great deal of emotion. I'm sure that's on the outside. Oh, there's a good left hand. There's a left and a right, and then the second left scored big that time for Riddick Bowe.
As long as Tyrell is going to wait and let Riddick Bowe get off first, he's not going to win this fight. He must dictate the pace with the jab. Keep Riddick Bowe from coming in. Try to keep him from getting his rhythm. Good body punch there by Riddick Bowe, and another right, and then came up top. Good combination.
There was a good left hand off the ropes by Tyrell Biggs. Well, you can see that was a conscious effort to the body by Bowe.
Tyrell's face already swelling up under both eyes, and I believe a little bit over the eyes. It's a war of attrition right now, Dan, and when you have superior strength and power like Riddick Bowe has, that just has to be to your advantage and to Tyrell Biggs' disadvantage.
Suppose you step back, right?
Oh, there's a good jab.
You see Tyrell bothered by the nose. It may be broken, and he may be having trouble breathing through it.
You can see him trying to clear it after every clinch.
And when you're having trouble breathing, obviously that plays into your stamina. And Tyrell's stamina, not as hard really, because he's fought back under adversity. Broken collarbones, 32 stitch cuts. But in terms of stamina, it has been a question mark at top competition.
This fight scheduled for 10. We're finishing the second.
All this paperwork, I can't get anything done.
Biggs and Bowe meet towards the middle of the ring. Now Bowe forces Tyrell Biggs over towards the ropes. What a good solid shot that was.
That's right. Riddick started to clown a little bit, make some faces at Tyrell, and he wiped the smile off his face with a real stiff jab. The other factor we should bring up, Dan, is Tyrell's tendency to cut. Terrible cut against David Bay, as we said, 32 stitches. Reopened the left eye against Tyson. Right eye busted up and caused a stoppage against Francesco Damiani. So that both eyes have a tendency to cut and cut badly.
And Tyrell Biggs is not doing a very effective job of keeping his gloves up and blocking the shots of Riddick Bowe. He's taken repeated hits to the head.
And he's also waiting too much. He just waited there until Riddick threw a three-punch combination.
Let him out. Let him go. Come on out.
Tyrell Biggs in the black trunks has to initiate the action. Work off that jab.
There's an attempt at an uppercut. It's been a very good punch for Riddick Bowe.
You know, it's only when you see that.
Oh, there's a shot to the back of the head by Tyrell Biggs. No warning, though, from Frank Cappuccino.
No, really, when the other man turns away like that, Dan, he has a right to punch him. That's Bowe's fault for turning away. That's the foul.
And there's Tyrell Biggs' father, James.
And you can see the look of concern as his son took another heavy right hand.
He got Tyrell started in boxing. He fought in school and in the Army, and interested his son at a young age to get involved in this sport. The jab flicking by Biggs is missing. The one by Bowe landed.
I started to say, Dan, these two guys are so similar in size, both 6'4" and change, both 225, that only when you see Frank Cappuccino, the referee in the picture, do you realize how big they are. Two huge men.
We're in the third round here at Harrah's in Atlantic City. Coming up on the 30-second mark. You can see that when that jab of Tyrell Biggs is effective and flicking out there, Riddick Bowe is a little cautious.
There, a good right hand. And Bowe is hurt.
And Riddick Bowe is hurt. Riddick Bowe saying, come on in, but there was no doubt that he was hurt. Tyrell Biggs making a fight of it.
Let him out, right there.
A reminder, this fight is scheduled for 10. And Tyrell Biggs, who's been on the short end of this fight up to this point, closed the third round with a flurry, and he hurt Riddick Bowe. Alex, he caught him clowning a little.
Solid right hand, and I think Tyrell was even surprised by the effect, because he's not supposed to be a big right-handed puncher. Eddie Fudge in Riddick Bowe's corner. Stop clowning around. You're letting him get off first. Use your jab. Oh, good right hand that time by Bowe.
A lot of movement being shown by Biggs, but it's been Riddick Bowe who's had the big punch of this round, that right hand.
Yeah, this is ineffective movement by Tyrell. He's not landing anything. It's just Riddick just pushing him around the ring. Dan, we should note that's really about the first time either fighter has been up against the ropes. That this is a 17-foot ring. You might notice the flag there in the turnbuckle and back. Rock Newman, Riddick Bowe's manager, changed this ring this morning from a 20-foot ring to a 17-foot ring by adding an extra turnbuckle. And that clearly, against a fighter who is as mobile as the opponent is today, Tyrell Biggs, is to his fighter's advantage. So far, it's been a phone booth fight.
We'd like to remind our ABC stations that at the end of this round, we're going to be going to a station break.
Go, Tyrell. You're holding, Tyrell. Let him out.
You can hear Frank Cappuccino telling Biggs to stop holding.
Tyrell's thinking right now, Frank, I'm tired. I've landed a few good punches, but this guy's a buzzsaw.
Another good right hand, partially blocked by the glove, but some of it still landed. You could see it move the head of Biggs.
And I think I see blood. I'm not sure.
It looks like blood is coming from over the left eye
of Tyrell Biggs. That is the cut that we talked about that first opened, 32 stitches in it against David Bay. Opened again terribly against Tyson.
Well, of the two fighters right now, certainly Tyrell Biggs looking the much more beleaguered.
And the more desperate.
Yep.
Terrell Biggs really has been...
That punch looked low. That left by Riddick Bowe appeared to hurt Biggs, and it was low, Alex.
And we should point out that the book on Tyrell Biggs is that he is vulnerable to the body, going all the way back to his amateur fights with Teofilo Stevenson.
And ABC's Wide World of Sports will return after this word from our ABC station. Top of Riddick Bowe's fights, 19 of his 21 professional fights have ended in 4 rounds or less. He's gone to the 8th round twice, won both of those. Eddie Gonzalez and Pinklin Thomas. And we're now here in the 5th. But that was another good solid round, Alex, for Riddick Bowe.
Solid round for Riddick, and he seems to me, Dan, to have started a little bit slowly here. I mean, this is to Tyrell's advantage. There's one thing that for taking your time, but constant pressure. I just think Tyrell is going to wilt, and under the effect of those punches to the head and to the body, and the effect of the nosebleed and the cut.
Ooh, another right hand to the body by Bowe. Couple scoring jabs.
Trying to work the cut. Very, very little coming back from Tyrell right now. I don't think he's yet just talking about surviving. Now the ropes come into effect. But I do think he is just saving up his strength for a few desperation punches of fight. Around, I'm sorry. Yeah, just covering, nothing coming back.
Come on.
Bowe is accepting those clinches.
Tyrell Biggs, never a powerful fighter, Alex, who was able to muscle his way around the ring. That will almost certainly come into play later in this fight. And there, well, Riddick Bowe Jr. knows he's on television.
Yeah, I didn't appear too excited about it.
No. It has been a nonchalant Bowe family watching this fight.
His father has been described as a man who never saw a camera or a mirror he didn't like.
And a lot can be said that his son feels exactly the same way. Riddick Bowe in the white trunks, Tyrell Biggs in the black.
Good stiff jabs by Tyrell, but he's bailing out with him. He's throwing him going backwards.
And they don't appear to have much of an effect either.
You see Riddick there dropping his arms. He may be a little bit tired. There's been a tremendous pace for a heavyweight fight, Dan.
But if you had to walk into this fight right now and pick the guy who's 30 and pick the guy who's 23, I don't think you'd have much trouble.
No, but right now, in the closing seconds here of round number 5, I think Riddick Bowe is waiting for a second wind. He looks a little bit tired. Tyrell seems to have taken the initiative a little bit more.
Dear Thompsons,
Honey, I ran out of
midway through waterproofing our new...
Here at Harrah's. I'm Dan Deerdorf, working along with Alex Swallow. Up to this point, dominant. A good right hand by Riddick Bowe. The fight has been controlled by Riddick Bowe with the exception of the 3rd round where Tyrell Biggs landed a shot that hurt Bowe. But the balance of the fight to this point has belonged to the younger Riddick Bowe.
Pretty easy fight. I thought the score, Dan, the first 4 rounds, only the 3rd going to Tyrell, 10-9 for Riddick. The last round was close because of Tyrell's rally at the end of the round, but I still gave it to Riddick Bowe and have him up by 3 points at the halfway mark.
Stop punching, Bowe. Come on, man.
One of the things that Eddie Futch has been trying to get Riddick Bowe to use more is his right hand. He's not the classic right-handed bomber that you would think. He popped a tendon in that hand, had surgery before the Olympics in '88. And you can see, Alex, he is making an effort to use it more.
Yeah, he says he's got full confidence back. I'm not quite sure. Eddie said he was terribly reluctant when he first took him over as a pro. Again, the Bowe jab. Ooh, good 1-2. Probably the best 1-2 by Tyrell.
Again, Biggs going to the body.
And Bowe is
just taking it.
And he didn't react well there, Dan. If you're looking for to answer questions about Riddick Bowe's chin, you have to say there that, I mean, he didn't look shaken or close to going down, but he didn't react well and didn't cover well after he was stunned.
Wild right hand by Bowe, sails over the top.
You might get away with that at this level against Tyrell Biggs, who is not known for being a strong puncher. But as he moves up to the highest levels of this division, he can't stand there like that.
Well, it's a much more cautious approach being used with Riddick Bowe than, say, Tyrell Biggs, who found himself in the ring with Mike Tyson after, what, 15 fights?
Yeah, they're stretching Riddick out a little bit, and I think, very smartly so. Some cynics believe that Tyrell Biggs' handlers are very, very smart boxing people. The Dubas, Lou and Dan, and Shelley Finkel realized that Tyrell was just never going to be competitive, and rather than take a chance on him not getting to the big payday, they pushed him into it after 15 pro fights. His 2 losses after that to the likes of Francesco Damiani and Gary Mason might prove them correct.
A bad right hand there by Tyrell Biggs. But he told us one thing yesterday. He said, I'm not a coward. We're coming to the end of 6, and Biggs is proving that. Harrah, the trainer of Tyrell Biggs, working in his corner, trying to control that swelling around the left eye.
Ralph Citro in Riddick's corner, also using the end swell on his left eye. But of the 2, Tyrell has the much greater problems.
The flow of blood hasn't been a problem, but you can see that it's beginning to swell close.
For those of you who follow Tyrell Biggs' career since he won a world championship as an amateur in 1981. His body looks stronger and harder, you must say, than he ever got in the past. He says he's the best condition he's ever been. All fighters say they're the best condition they've ever been. But in his case, it may well be true.
Here in attendance ringside, of course, an Olympic teammate and a good friend of Tyrell Biggs.
Also from Philadelphia, and Tyrell really has been, in some ways, the forgotten member of that team. So many of whom, Holyfield and Meldrick and Pernell Whitaker, who are among the top 3, maybe out of the top 5 fighters in the world today, pound for pound.
And Mark Breland was on that team, who got all the attention at the time.
That's right, but Tyrell got a lot of attention in the beginning, but, you know, with his 3 straight losses, and it just kind of disappeared until this fight, and I just think it's nice that Meldrick still has enough feeling for Tyrell to come over here today and try to root him on. Real good counter right by Riddick that just missed. I mean, it landed, but it just missed, doing real damage. See Tyrell trying to counter with his own right there, and he missed badly.
All the way.
Is Riddick Bowe, Alex, pressing the fight?
Well, he's not pressing. No, I mean, he may be pressing it as much as he can. But I think if he'd been able to continue coming forward and use this small 17-foot ring and stick the jab, work the body, I think he could have gotten Tyrell out of here by now. But Tyrell has fought very, very valiantly. I mean, give him credit. He got a lot of places in this fight where he could have laid down, and he absolutely has not. He told us he wasn't coming here just for a payday. He told us he wasn't an opponent. He may end up being an opponent, but he has a lot of heart.
It's Riddick Bowe pushing Biggs up against the rope. Biggs trying to counterpunch. Not landing much. Harrah's Marina Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. Riddick Bowe and Tyrell Biggs are going at it here. One would make the assumption that Riddick Bowe is comfortably ahead on the scorecards.
Yeah, there really has been a lot of meaningful punching in the last 3 rounds, Dan.
This is scheduled for 10 rounds. No title is at stake. Oh, there's a good right hand by Riddick Bowe. Biggs tried a left himself open and took a shot as he did there.
You know, we've criticized Riddick for waiting, but on those 2 occasions, he waited and counterpunched very, very effectively.
Oh, and there was another good stiff left hand by Bowe.
And we've also criticized Tyrell for not taking the lead, but he says, hey, pal, I just tried to take the lead twice and I got drilled. Nothing like a couple of solid power punches and the counter-punching that to make a man forget about wanting to shoot the jab.
An attempt at a left uppercut that time by Biggs. Riddick Bowe's favorite combination is the left hand, the jab, followed by a right uppercut.
You just have to be amazed that Tyrell can get away with carrying his left so long.
Yeah.
You'd say it's because he's tired, but he really does it from the opening bell. He's more comfortable shooting the jab from there. Now he's paying.
Good combinations, and right now Tyrell Biggs hanging on. He took a good left hand up against the ropes.
And if Riddick Bowe is as good a finisher as Eddie Fudge says he is,
we'll find out.
He should use this final minute 10 to get Tyrell Biggs out of there.
Oh, a big right hand, and down goes Tyrell Biggs. An overhead chopping right hand.
I'm not sure how cleanly it landed. Tyrell pulls himself up.
50 seconds left in the 8th round.
They can stop this fight right now. You see the official for the commission up on the ring post, up on the
over. It's over. Frank Cappuccino stops the fight here in the 8th round. And Rob Newman goes right to Riddick Bowe, rather. And Biggs still down.
A tough fight. two tough men. I think Dan gave everything they have, and in the end, Riddick Bowe had too much.
We are going to bring you later on some excerpts of fights between Evander Holyfield and Michael Dokes and George Foreman and Jerry Cooney. Right now, though, let's go back to New York. We're going to go to a commercial break, rather. We'll be back here. Okay, we are back here in Atlantic City. Riddick Bowe won this fight. It was stopped in the 8th round, Alex.
Dan, this is the first knockdown. Riddick Bowe pushing out the jab, backing Tyrell onto the ropes. That was really not a clean right hand. I just think Tyrell gave out. He gave everything, as we said, and I just don't think he had anything left. That was not a clean right hand he went down from.
He did get back up, and then here's the end of the fight just seconds later.
And you'll see in the background, Dr. Frank Doggett of the New Jersey Commission will be, I'm not sure on this, no, I guess on this angle we won't see him, but the doctor was up on the apron. I'm not sure if Frank Cappuccino saw him or heard him, but he looked at Tyrell Biggs, and he jumps in and stopped the fight at that point, I believe. Let me just tell people what the scorecards were when you stopped him. You were ahead on one scorecard, 69-65, but two judges had you ahead by only 1 point, 67-66. Did you feel you were more in control of the fight than that?
I thought I was, but again, you know, judges can see things that I can't. And, you know, what can I say? I'm just happy that things turned out the way they did.
You came out right away in the first round. I thought you might have a chance of taking him out right away, Riddick, but he stopped you in your tracks with a left hook. You hit him with the right hand. He got you back with the left.
Well, actually, he didn't. I, you know, thought that I should slow down a little bit because I needed to work. You know, I could have took him out anytime I got ready. So, again, you know, I needed to work. I hadn't fought in a couple of months. But I don't know whoever said Tyrell couldn't punch. He can punch.
Yeah, he fought a very valiant fight. We really should say that he gave you the kind of work that you needed to get to the highest levels of the heavyweight division. In the third round also, Riddick, it seemed, you know, you've always said that you need to learn how to relax in the ring. It seems like you got a little bit too relaxed in the third round, and you clowned a little bit, and he seemed to stun you a little bit there. You came back well.
Well, he thought he stunned me, and you thought he stunned me, but again, it's a small
And he
thing.
stunned you, Riddick.
It's a small thing to a giant. He did, you know, but, you know, I didn't want him to know that. But I was able to recuperate and get the job done, you know.
How important was the body punching?
For Tyrell, he seemed to get weak as I hit him to the body. So when I went back to the corner, Eddie Futch told me to just maintain the pressure on the body, and that's what I did.
Let me bring in Eddie Futch. Here's Hedgeman Lewis, the trainer. And Eddie, how far away is Riddick in your mind from a title shot?
Well, I think he's less than a year away now, really. He gained a lot of experience against Biggs tonight. Biggs did a lot of things that a young man ought to be exposed to, and he was.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Congratulations, Riddick. Let's go back to Dan.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, Alex,